my love, don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretched the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the If revenge was a woman, I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I came to do damage, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light work. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. 6 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right, stop it up. All right, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Allah Ta'ala Shem Yahshua to the sisters. ISUK Minnesota. With the Brotherhood class, as you know, every single Tuesday. How we do it. Once again, ISUK Minnesota. You can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. All right, 1 second. All right, let me see something. Hello. All right, I think that's it. All right, so yeah, we are going to get into it. I mean, there's a few things to talk about. For starters, you know, the aftermath of Christmas and all the things that happen. Okay. Once again, we talk about heavy topics that concern Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, okay? Because we are the same people. If you have not noticed, if you do not know, all right? The Christian church right now is under fire as far as TD Jakes, or better yet, TD Snakes. And the reason being is because he's being outed as being a part of this whole sex scandal thing going on with Diddy. As you know, Sean Combs or P. Diddy. P. Diddy recently was brought up on charges as far as him, you know, assaulting a lot of women. Not just the famous artist Cassie, who he was with for a long time, but other people in the past and present. All right? Give me 1 second here. Let me check something. All right. Excuse me for that. But yeah. So TD Jakes got, you know, put up in the mix, which, I mean, really, this is not the first time we heard something about TD Jakes and just other people who have a big platform such as him. There are going to be a lot of people, many others to come that are going to be blasted for the things that they have done to people and the things that they have. Just the way that they live their life. Because one thing is this, right? A lot of entertainers, a lot of people who we look up to, who are big and famous, we think that they can do no evil when anybody that does not serve the Lord can do anything evil. All right? They are capable of anything. When the Lord is not with you, you are capable of any filth. And that's the Christian church. For years, over 50 years, since 1969, these men have told you who these men really are. All right? Wolves in sheep's clothing is what they are. Now, Kanye West, he just came back out and he pretty much formally apologized to the Jewish community. And he did it even in Hebrew, trying to make it, more genuine, more solid in his case. When he was just standing on the whole fact that the Jews are black. Not too long ago, this is last year? I want to say a year ago? All the way up until now, he just decided to apologize. The same thing happened to Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon was saying the same thing, which both brothers were speaking the truth, but because their money was being touched, their revenue was being touched, it was pain. It was, it's like pain and suffering for them. And because of that, they decided to apologize and, trace back. All right. When in actuality, once again, man, when you speak the truth, stand on the truth. Don't let nothing or nobody or nothing, stop you from telling the truth. Don't let nobody intimidate you to stop telling the truth. Because as far as Christ, he was unalive for it. The disciples unalive for it. But as soon as the Jewish man gets a hold of your money, all right, as soon as the Jewish man gets a hold of your money or takes something away from you, now I guess what you said was wrong. It wasn't the truth. Because powerful men like Nick Cannon and powerful men like Kanye West, to be exact, as well, because he's powerful. All right, the way that he moved and inspired people, as far as the whole Hebrew Israelite community, people waking up to who they were. And when I say Hebrew Israelite community, meaning that with him and Kyrie Irving and Nick Cannon, like, it woke up a lot of people's minds to, damn, okay, maybe we are more than just African American. Maybe we are something far more greater than that. And it started to really open people's eyes up. But because these people decided to backtrack, that discourages a lot of brothers and sisters. One thing in the ISUPK, we're not going to stop telling the truth. You can do whatever you want to us. It's not going to stop us telling the truth. I mean, brothers have been locked up. Brothers have been harassed by authorities, the government, the police, the FBI, you name it. All right. To this day, the ISUPK is on the hate group list. That's not stopping anything that we're doing, because at the end of the day, we love Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people to the point where we won't lie to them. We won't, just because we receive persecution doesn't mean that we are going to buckle down. We are going to continue to uphold this truth, because that's what Christ did. And if you truly believe in Christ, do what he did. Uphold the truth. Live by it. And teach it. Enforce it. All right? But of course, in order to teach the Bible, we got to be ordained. But man, do what Christ did. Do what the disciples did. Ain't nobody out here being unalive for the truth, for real. These Christians, they're not really being unalive for this Bible, for the belief system. They may have it in a possession, and they may, talk to you in a way of as if they are men or women of God. In actuality, behind closed doors, you don't know who they are. Or better yet, I guess you do now, because T.D. Jakes, he even said the next time he had a sermon or something like that, he said, look, I ain't going to speak about it. All right? He's not trying to tell you the truth, because if enough people know who he really is, a lot of people just may walk away from him. And why is that so important? Because that means that he is not going to be rich. Because the reason why these pastors and politicians and people of high stature in America and all over is because of the people being deceived, thinking that they are somebody to look up to. What allegations have been said about the ISUPK that has been true? There are many things that may be said that are incorrect about the ISUPK as a whole, or as far as specific people, but yet it can never be proved, never. And then when someone is approached, the same people that says whatever lie that they believe, when they are approached about it, they backtrack as well. They realize that they told a lie, and lies are dangerous. It's more better to, it's so, like, we live in a society where it's more better to believe a lie than the truth. And you believe a lie so much that it becomes the truth. So you don't know which one is which. You have to open up your ears and your eyes and realize what is happening in front of you. You have to look at everything with a good, righteous judgment. The Bible does say, try every man's spirit to see if they are of God. That's what you want to do. You can't just listen to any and everybody, because anybody can tell you anything that sounds good. But that's the thing too. The Bible is not a book that is supposed to make you, just because someone can teach something out of the Bible, doesn't always mean that it's correct. Okay? Anybody can teach or read a scripture out of the Bible, but are they living by it? Truly. And this is, once again, this is the brotherhood class. The title of the class is, In Vain Do They Worship Me? There's going to be many people, many false prophets, that's going to tell you this and tell you that. But how do you know if someone is real or not when it comes to serving the Lord? You have to try their spirits and see the fruit that they produce. Okay? That's what has to happen. You have to see what they produce. Okay? All right, now, anyway, matter of fact, let me get that first, because we are going to get into another topic as well. Let me see. All right. Let's see. All right, y'all bear with me. Yeah, let me see. There's a few different ones that I want. All right. Also, too, make sure that you share the class. You like, subscribe, all that, man. Once again, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We also have TikTok and Instagram. Okay, ISUPK Minnesota everywhere. And we also have a physical location as well. Just look up ISUPK Minnesota on Google or Yahoo and search us up, and you will see our location. within the Twin Cities of Minnesota. We are in the heart of the city. All right. Let me see. All right, here we go. 6. 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out in the world. So it's saying beloved, all right? Beloved is like, like think of beloved as like, my brother, my sister, right? Believe not every spirit. Now, what does it mean to believe not in every spirit? Better yet, what is a spirit? A spirit in Hebrew is rakah, right? Rakah is spirit. Now, with the spirit, you have what is called a vibe. That's how you know if somebody has a good spirit or a bad spirit, in simple terms, based on how you interact with others or people, right? Some people be like, "Ooh, okay, this person got bad energy. This person has good energy." Now that's a spirit because that's a vibe. That's exactly what it is, right? And what that is you have to know the Bible. You have to study this book, not read the book. Of course, you are going to read the Bible, absolutely. But you don't want to just read the Bible. You want to study it. You want to break it down. You want to analyze. You want to dissect it. That's why we have scripture breakdown class, because these scriptures are not going to be digestible and comprehensible all the time. Okay? Some scriptures are more complex and harder to understand. So that's why we dissect. We break it down. So that way, something that may be complex, we make it simple. It's the same thing with that's why everybody can't be a teacher. All right, in the sense of this. Okay, everybody that teaches the word of God, right? Supposedly, everybody is not a teacher. You have to be taught first. Those pastors and preachers and all these people that talk about God so much on as a platform, they are not teachers, because the Lord has not ordained them, nor are they speaking what the Lord has told us to speak in the first place, or to be spoken in the first place. Okay? A lot of people just talk their own words, but they mix it up with what's in the Bible. And that's called Christianity. Christianity is plagiarism of this Bible. All right? What a lot of people won't understand, that will go over people's heads, is that you can never find Christianity in the Bible, because someone used these records and turned it into their own thing and use it against you. That's why you are in a Christian church for over 30 years, over 60 years of your life, and you are still in hell. You are still struggling. Nothing has changed about your life. Everything has been worse ever since. The pastor won't help you when you are behind bills, the rent, the lights, the hospital bills. I mean, what's going on as far as the food drives and the clothing drives for the community? All the money is going to the pastor, and it's not going to the congregation. It's not helping the community. Okay? And that's why we are poor. We are poor because we are putting money in the wrong person's pockets. Put money into the ISBK. Put money with Commander Jerry Yohana. You want to know why? Because those tithes, you would see it in the community. When you fall behind on your bills, you better call the school, man. All right? If you're paying tithes to someone, you should be able to ask them if for help when you are down and out, when you don't have no food in your fridge, when you don't have clothes on your back, when a community is starving and suffering. I mean, man, like just literally in New York, we just did a clothing drive. And I can't even, I forget the number. I think the number was close to 50,000. I'm going to say safely over 50,000 people. Damn near, I want to say. We helped, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say over 10,000 people was helped out there. I don't know the exact number, but I did hear some of the number. But we helped over maybe close to 10,000 or more people of our own people. Not to mention all the different other races of people that are not a part of our nation that we helped as well. Because we help anybody, okay? And if we're such a hate group, then why do we hand a clothing or food to a white person? Why do we hand it to an African? Why do we hand it to the very people who take from us in our own communities? It's because we feed any and everybody, but more than anything, we make sure that we do it for our people, for the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, because nobody else is worried about them. But yeah, if somebody else who's not Black, Hispanic, Native Indian wants to grab something, that's fine. Ain't nobody going to stop you. But our mission is to feed and clothe and shelter our nation of people, the people that are not desired, the people who are disrespected, the people who are not loved in this earth, all over this world, in this earth. We have to look out for them because nobody's looking out for them. All right. I mean, like, if y'all, I know I'm going off a little bit, just a little bit, right? If y'all look at what happened during COVID and everybody had the stimulus checks from the government, they had a whole press conference about just dreading the fact that they even have to give out this money when this entire place, this entire earth, the economy can fix homelessness everywhere. That's how much money this earth has. These powers, these governments all over, they have so much money that it can literally fix the homelessness issue anywhere on this earth. How is it that LA is one of the richest places, right, in California, but yet homelessness is a problem? Same thing with New York. New York is very big, humongous. So many people, over 1 million or more people live in New York. But yet the homelessness is a big problem right now. You got to understand, man, this place don't desire you, man. There are powers that be that make sure that you are at the bottom. Because if you are at the top, then somebody has to be at the bottom. Everybody can't make it and be at the top. That's not possible. All right? That's not how it works. When you look at life, when you look at all the times, just think about all the war movies that people watch, like Game of Thrones, or TV shows or movies. Game of Thrones, Vikings, Marco Polo, which are all great shows, right? Somebody is always at the top and somebody's always at the bottom. It's always been that. Everybody's not going to be at the top. Okay? That's not how life is. Same thing with animals. Even animals have a kingdom. All right? One's the hunter, the other one is the prey. One is stronger, one is weaker. And that's how it goes. But now, back on topic, right? When it comes to these pastors and these entertainers, they are not leaders. They are not leaders. They are not the voice that you should listen to when it comes to the Most High, because that's not what they stand for. That's not what they stand for. Entertainers is all about their entertainment. Their job is not to be a leader for the Most High. Their job is to do whatever they are doing now, which is TV, music, movies, TV shows, but it's not to get you back to serving the Most High. That's not their job. That's not their role. So to a certain extent, those people respectfully should be quiet before they get somebody hurt. When it comes to serving the Most High, and you are ordained by the Lord to teach this Bible, and this is your 9 to 5. This is your life all the time, every day, nonstop, no weekends, nothing. When this is your life, you have to be very, very careful, because you don't want to be like the Christian church. You don't want to be like the pastors. You don't want to be like the deacons, because the deacons of this earth, of this world, they are not teaching you. They are not teaching you how to serve the Lord. They're actually teaching you how to be a slave. And that's what's happening. They're teaching you how to stay in your same situation and to make them rich and fat, because this is all they do. They talk about nothing, but yet you give them everything, and they give you nothing in return but death. Like, if you want to learn how to be a sinner, if you want to learn how to live your life on your way, on being on the path of dying or being unalive, that's the church for you. If you want to feel good about the sin that you know you should not be doing, go to the church. Because in the church, what you find is there is no accountability. There is no substance. There's nothing but evil and witchcraft in there. Like I saw a famous video, man, how a pastor is up there teaching, and somebody just happened to record this pastor just talking about a sermon, and out of nowhere a fight breaks out. One man attacks another man because he found out that this man who he goes to church with was sleeping with his wife. Now, you would never see that in ISUPK. Never. Do you know what can happen? You would never see that in here. Because you want to know why? Because brothers love each other too much. We don't look at each other as women. All right? We don't desire somebody else's woman. You're out of the spirit and you're out of order. And plus we have protocol. What protocols is there in the church? Anybody can touch and sleep with each other. There's no order in the church. Now, I'll read this one more time. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God. You want to analyze. You want to go. I mean, if you do decide to go to church, right? I would not advise it at all. I would stay far away as possible. If you damn near live near a church, you better move somewhere else. But it's damn near impossible because the church is everywhere. It's on every damn corner of every hood. Okay? It's also too, even in the suburbs, the mega churches. It's insane. But there's no protocol, man. You can't talk to a brother and a sister can't talk to each other as far as trying to, hook up without there being some rules in place. And that's right here. That's in the security announcements. All right. In our security announcements, we have rules and you have to abide by them. If you don't, you can get to stepping. All right. You can keep it moving. These rules protect us in here. And that's another thing. Protocols are in place. The purpose of a protocol is for safety measures. Because when you don't have a 1 year rule, when you don't have rules in place of how a brother or a sister in a congregation are supposed to deal with each other, what do you have? I'll wait. When you don't have protocols in place about, a man and a woman in your congregation, what tends to happen? Man, you have sex with any and everybody, and you take no account of it, no accountability. Child support headaches, man. Child support is a headache for a lot of men. It's a headache. I even heard cases of sisters being put on child support by the man. And at the end of the day, all that can be avoided. Also, too, STDs. Man, how many stories did we hear about brothers and sisters not doing things the proper way, and somebody ends up catching HIV, man? That is horrible, man. That's a horrible life to live. And you have that for the rest of your life. You have it for the rest of your life. How about, just children that just might destroy your life? Like, children are beautiful and amazing, but them situations, children don't always come into this earth in a beautiful situation. Things can get very ugly, very bad, very quickly. That's why we say sex is marriage. And with that being said, you have to take accountability. The moment that you know that sex is marriage, you take that very serious. Because if you don't, you can end up with a whore or a sex worker, and she will destroy your life. You can end up with a man that's going to destroy your life. He's a drug addict. He's an alcoholic. He beats on you. You got this woman. She's on the verge of unaliving you every chance that she can get because she doesn't like you so much. You thought she was beautiful and pretty on the outside, but you never decided to check her spirit to see if this is the woman I should spend the rest of my life with or not. Now you got you a whole monster. They say monsters are underneath the bed. No, that monster was in your bed and probably is still in your bed. Like, we have to be serious about the things that we do concerning the Most High and living life. Because in the church, they are going to teach you how to be against the Most High. I'm going to keep going on that as well, because I did not forget about Christmas. That's definitely going to be on the topic, okay? Let me keep going on this just one more time. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God. Yeah, you want to try everybody's spirit. You want to get to know them. You want to see, how this person lived their life. If they do drugs, they sell drugs. If they are part of the LGBT lifestyle. You want to be careful, like even if you're not intimately dealing with this person, you still want to be careful who you are around, because you never know what they got going on in their life. I mean, there's too many brothers and sisters who lost their life hanging around the wrong people, and it wasn't their fault. Like, just recently, a brother had told me a story about a friend of theirs was hanging out with some people. Now the brother's cool. He's a cool brother, cool dude, and he just happened to be hanging around the wrong people. The car had got shot up, and the only one who got unalive was the one who was not responsible for any of that, supposedly. But things like that happen all the time. Stories like this happen all the time. All right? It's sad, man. It's terrible. You can be a part of that crossfire if you're not careful. And especially, too, if you're not serving the Lord. Because you got to think about this as well. Especially if you are a parent, you want to be very careful how you live your life, because it's not your life anymore. When you have children, you have to live for not just for you, but for them. Your life is pretty much over. It's all about them. And once you realize that, you might change your ways. I will hope. Otherwise, things just may get more and more worse. Your children may experience the punishment of your decisions when they had nothing to do with it, but you did. Moving on. Let me grab some notes here. If anybody got questions or concerns, type it into the chat. Once again, man, we live everywhere. Okay? Let me see. And shalom, Lord Christ, to those that are watching as well. All right. All right, let me grab Joshua chapter 1, verse 7. Okay. All right. Let me see. Actually, all right, actually, let's do Joshua chapter 1, verse 5, okay? Now, I want to bring this out because 2023 is about to end, right? Which is really nothing too special, okay? Right about now, there's somebody out there who is saying, oh, 2024 is about to come up. It's about to be a new year, new me. My New Year's resolution is going to be this, is going to be that. And no one's ever going to live up to the expectation of changing whatever they want to change for the next year. Now, there's nothing wrong with having goals, but don't set it upon because it's about to be a new year. Why can't you start now? Why couldn't you start 5 years ago? You wanna work on money management. You don't have to wait until next year. You can do it now. All right? Like pennies do add up. Okay? If you know anything about math, pennies do add up. You can start right now. Start small. Okay? Start small. You looking for to lose weight, gain weight. Start now. You don't have to wait until next year. Okay? Also, too, you shouldn't have to wait to change because there's no time. And what I mean by there's no time, there's really not no time because no one really knows when their time is going to run out. Because this may be just your last day, your last hour, your last 5 minutes. But of course, only the Lord knows that. So while you have the time, while you are acknowledging that you are breathing, you're walking around, you're talking, you're living day by day, each day you should be better. You should fight to be better. Don't fight to be the same. Because if you're fighting to be the same, you're not changing anything. Okay? Do something to improve yourself as a whole. Overall, improve yourself. Don't just, be stagnant. Don't stay in one place. Because things are about to get heated up a lot more than what it is. Things are about to get a lot worse. And I'm going to grab that precept too in a second. Let me jot that down real quick anyway. Let's see. Come on. Better. Okay. All right. Yep. There we go. All right. So let's get Joshua. Joshua chapter 1, verse 5. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Now, this is Joshua. Joshua is now, he now has a lot more rank. He is of high stature after Moses had passed away. Okay? Because Moses didn't make it to the promised land. But however, Joshua did. Okay? And with Joshua, he carried the torch for Moses because Joshua was under Moses, learning, being taught. Okay? Moses was Joshua's teacher, his leader, his father figure. Okay? Big brother, so to speak. Now, Joshua is going to continue the same, Joshua is going to continue the same thing that Moses did for him. And he said this, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. And he's talking about his people, man. And that's the spirit that all of us needs as so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indians. We all need that spirit to where somebody is going to be there for you. Also, too, just like in anything, right? And any relationship that you may have with family, a friend, a partner, there's work that has to be done with that relationship. Just because y'all related and just because y'all know each other from down the block doesn't mean that y'all are really there for each other. You got to work in these relationships. You got to work in everything. Anything that you want, you have to work for. Whether that be a relationship, whether that be a friendship, whether that means that you want a new PS5, you want a new car, you want a new building, whatever the case may be, you want a new body. All right? You have to work for it. It's not going to just, come falling out the sky in your hands. You got to work for it. If you want to grow in wisdom, you want to grow in understanding and knowledge, you got to work for it. You got to put in the work and the time and the effort. If you don't, then, just like the Bible says, faith without works is what? Is dead. Okay? So just like Joshua was not going to fail or forsake us, his people. That's why in the ISUPK, man, we continue that torch as well. That's what we're doing since 1969. With all the persecution, with all the threats, death threats, with all the, imprisonment and so on and so forth, it has not stopped us. We are still here. And we ain't going nowhere. No time soon. All right? Lord allow. Verse 6. Be strong and of good courage. Now, he's saying be strong and of a good courage. Now, why is he saying this? The only reason why someone may tell you, man, you got to be strong is because you may not be strong in a certain situation. You may feel down. You may feel weak. You may not have the courage. And think of courage as confidence. Okay? You may not have the confidence and the strength to keep going when things get hard. All right? But this is motivation. This is what you need in your time of trouble. And also, too, when it comes to serving the Lord, of course, it is an amazing, glorious thing, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to go through things either. Yes, you're going to receive rewards and blessings, but you are going to have to fight through the fire. You are going to have to endure into the end. Now, I can't tell you exactly what your battles are going to be, but whatever they are, the Lord is with you as long as you remember and keep strong, be strong and of good courage. So that way, when it's time, the Most High sees you enduring and you fight through that pain, he's going to reward you. All right? And it's going to happen again and again and again. Okay? For unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swore unto their fathers to give them. Right, at one point in time, I mean, we did inherit our land, but now it's gone. Okay? Now it's gone by the so-called fake Jews, the Amalekites. Now it's taken by another people that are not the God's chosen people. Okay? Let's keep it going. Verse 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law. So that's why he said, be strong and very courageous, so thou mayest observe to do according to all the law. Because when everything hits the fan, when things get sour and bad for you, remember your training. Remember what you have been taught. Don't forget what you already know. Don't just all of a sudden backslide. Don't, when things get tough, don't go back to your old ways. Don't do that. Don't go back to the drugs. Don't go back to being an alcoholic. You was just doing fine. Don't go back to selling drugs. For what? Because you ain't got the money? You have ways around all your situations that may be terrible. You have solutions to all your ways that may seem like it's impossible to escape. But you have to observe according to the law to understand that. If you ain't studying and using these tools, these records, how would you know? Because all you know is drug addiction, LGBT, pills and bottles, and just sin and filth. That's all you know. That's what you're comfortable going back to. You know, it's good to hurt even more when something that you really want, but you know you can't have it, and you just let it go. That can hurt, but it makes you stronger. Okay? Moving on. Which Moses, my servant, commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. So yeah, don't put it to the right side or to the left side, meaning keep it with you. All right? Don't put it nowhere else. Keep it with you, man. So that way you shall prosper. Because if you decide to just push away the truth, these laws, statutes, and commandments, what you learned to be good, that's helped your life, that's benefited your life, all those counsels that talked you off the ledge, if you decide to just push that away on the right side or the left side, you won't prosper. You are going to be in destruction. That's what's going to happen. All right. And I'll leave it off right there, okay? Let's go ahead and get into Christmas for a second. All right. It's like you. All right. So we know that yesterday and on the 24th was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day yesterday. So, you know, of course, you know, had a day off, Most High in Christ. while everybody was out there celebrating the worship of Nimrod and not Jesus Christ, because it was not his birthday. Okay, Jesus Christ was not born in the wintertime. If you look at the Bible, he was more born in the springtime, which the springtime and the wintertime is two different seasons. So tax season is always in the springtime. Think about when you pay your taxes, right? It's in the springtime. And now also too, winter is dead. It's a season where the earth is dead because everything is frozen and it's cold. Nothing is growing. Nothing is flourishing. Everything is dead. The grass is dead, the trees, everything, right? But in the springtime, everything is growing. So it's a season of life, okay? And that's when Christ was born, around that time. You can find it in Luke, for time's sake. All right, when it talks about how when Joseph, his father, right, and Mary, his mother, when they were looking for Christ, when he went missing, and how they traveled during the tax season. That's exactly what it says in the Bible, the tax, okay? And also too, you know, we back then we didn't really travel in the winter because it was so dangerous. Okay, it was so dangerous to do that. Also too, is a scripture that says, "Woe unto a mother who travels through the winter in childbirth." All right, so that lets you know that Mary didn't have Christ around that time as far as winter. And there's much more evidence as well to prove that and back that up. But moving on, right? Okay. So moving on. Christmas is the worship of Nimrod. Christmas has not been around for such a long time. It's still fairly new. But Nimrod, the celebration of Nimrod is very old and ancient. Okay? That's the birth of what is now called Christmas today. But of course, just like many other holidays in the earth, they had different names and different ways of celebrating the actual holiday. Sometimes it wasn't even called a holiday, it was called festivities. All right, which is still used today as well. But it's more popular to say a holiday. So let me see. So Nimrod was an African who was celebrated and who died and who was celebrated as a god. Now I'm going to read this story and then we're going to get into some scriptures. So it says, and this is from the book of the Two Babylons. This is just going to be a brief summary. According to ancient Egyptian and Babylonian traditions, his mother was Semiramis. Sometimes Semiramis is referred to as the mother of Nimrod and sometimes as his wife. Yikes, absolutely disgusting, man. Incest. All right. Now, of course, if you don't know what an Egyptian is an African. Okay. And it's not going to be the so-called African Americans. Those are not Egyptians. All right. So, and now also to the name Semiramis, it's just like saying Sierra Mist, like the pop. That's where that name comes from. So if you think about the pop, right? Excuse me, Sierra Mist. This Babylonian name was Semiramis, okay, which is very similar. Let's keep going. Okay. All right. So, and sometimes as his wife, leading to the belief that Nimrod married his mother. So since he married his mother, because sex is marriage, that would mean that was his wife and his mother. Once again, just disgusting. Also, according to these traditions, Semiramis, who rose to greatness because of her son, was presented with a difficulty when her son died. So instead, she pronounced him to be a god so that she herself would become a goddess. Now, this was a normal tradition in Egypt or Babylonian history or culture, because they would try to keep you alive in some way, some way or fashion. Whether that meant like making you a god where people can worship you, because it was about the money, it was about the fame and things of that sort. It's no different than what it is right now. The way that people call themselves certain things, like Beyonce. Beyonce is Sasha Fierce, and everybody worships her as Sasha Fierce. It's like an alter ego, an idol, which the Most High said that we cannot have. So when you celebrate Christmas, you're celebrating a African culture, tradition that is based off of cruelty, inhumane activity, and just filthiness all around. And I will explain more. One story says that after Nimrod was unalived, Semiramis claimed that an evergreen tree sprouted from a tree stump, which she said indicated the entry of new life into the entry of new life into the deceased Nimrod. Every year on the anniversary of Nimrod's birth, December 25th, they would leave gifts at this evergreen tree. This is presented by some as a possible explanation, the origin of the Christmas tree. And that's exactly what it is, because Nimrod, mother and wife or whatever, Semiramis had told everybody, she had told the entire town, this is, this tree right here, this evergreen tree, Nimrod's spirit is in this tree. His spirit is in this tree, right? And with his spirit being in this tree, you have to give him the gifts, or give the tree the gifts. But now, of course, if you didn't, your head would be chopped off. That was the punishment. And it would be hung on the tree as an ornament. That's another thing as well. Now, also too, another thing is too about that is this happened more than one time. Even later in life, this happened to us. Okay, where the oppressor, who is the white man, he hung us on trees as well, just like ornaments. He hung our heads on the trees, just like ornaments. Right now, to this very day, this has happened. Right now, we're still hanging from trees. They just don't broadcast it, enough or a whole lot like they used to. But it's still out there. It has never stopped. But yet you celebrate this holiday as if it's really about family and friends, when it's not. It's not about that at all. It's just because there seems to be some generosity, hospitality, food. I haven't seen my family in a long time. You think that it's not a problem. There's gifts. It's not an issue. The issue is, why can't you do it on any other day? Who told you to celebrate this on December 25th? And then a lot of us too know that this is not a real holiday to celebrate in the first place, but yet we still do it. Why? For the kids. Because, this is the only time I get to see my family. That's not true. That's a lie. There are other times where you can see your family. It's not just about the holidays. It's not just the holidays. All the PTO and vacation time that you got, you can't see your family then, but you have to see them on December 25th or during Thanksgiving and New Year's. Just say that you are a slave and you do what everybody tells you to do in America. Once New Year's come up, are you going to celebrate that? Like, come on now, what is really going on here? All right, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it there. I pretty much summed it all up. Okay, so that's the history of Nimrod. All right, which is Christmas in a nutshell. Now, let me grab the death toll real quick. Let's see what happened this year. Yeah, here we go. 7 people unalive, including a 9-year-old girl, after Christmas and Boxing Day storms. Let's see. Oh, this is new. 1 week ago, 11 unalived in mass shooting at Christmas party in Mexico. Good night. I really thought that this day was about the Lord and about Christ. If this was such a holy day, a good day, why is so much evil happening? It's because this is not the day of the Lord. Like on the days that the Most High has his feasts and his convocations, no one is being unalived. No one is being harmed or hurt. Everybody's going home safe. I don't get it. All right, let me see. In Minnesota alone, this year, well, actually, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see this real quick. All right, so as far as Minnesota, it looks like, what is that? Yeah, about 100 people lost their lives in different situations concerning Christmas or around the Christmas weekend. Because, you know, one thing about that spirit about Christmas too, there's a Christmas spirit, and there's a whole lot of violence. There's a whole lot of evil going on. Also, too, is one story about a 17-year-old girl, I believe somewhere in the Midwest. She was on her way to a holiday party, and somehow her car ended up in the pond, and she drowned. Like, come on, man. Like, this is not the Lord's day. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get a few more precepts, and then we out of here. All right. Okay. Let's get Mark chapter 7, verse 7. All right, Mark chapter 7, verse 7. Howbeit, in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Yeah, so howbeit in vain do they worship me. Now, this is Christ speaking in red. And he's saying, how is it that you worship me in vain, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men? Now, it didn't say the commandments of God, it said of men. Because to celebrate something like this and to call it a day of Jesus Christ being born is insane. Because this day has nothing to do with him whatsoever. Nothing. Not even close. But yet, we worship him in vain. New Year's comes up. Thank God for another year. Now, really, you should be thanking the Lord that he has not unalived you yet. Don't thank him for another year, because this year, this next year, it's going to be worse. And it's going to be like that, trickle down and down and down. It's going to get worse before it gets better. That's what Paul said. I'm going to grab that as well later on. Yeah, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. If you think 2024 is going to be your year, it just might. It might be your year for a lot of different reasons. Who knows, good or bad? I couldn't tell you. But what I do know is this. If you don't live your life according to what the Lord said, things ain't going to turn out so well for you or for those around you that you love. Because once again, it's not about just you. It's about all of us. If you are so-called African American, Latino, Native, you better watch yourself. Because the way that these bodies are dropping all around us, and it doesn't make sense how, I mean, it does. Okay, what's crazy is that the numbers jump up every single holiday as far as deaths, always. That's not a coincidence. But meanwhile, Christmas is not in the Bible to celebrate, but it is spoken against in Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. Okay? All right, moving on. Verse 8. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men. So once again, he's checking them. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men. Yeah, you're laying aside all the morality, all the righteousness to the side, but you do some wicked and evil. Like Thanksgiving turkey and New Year's and once again, Christmas and St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, all these things, okay? As the washing of pots and cups and many other such like things ye do. So I'll just stop it right there. So the point of this is Christ is saying, look, man, like how be it, you know, that you worship me, but you ain't doing what you are supposed to do. You're doing the opposite, all right? The complete opposite of what the Lord told you to do, what God told you to do. But yet, you know, it's December 25th. This is about Jesus, what they say, and we have to celebrate him. I'm sure you sing happy birthday as well. Okay? All right. Let me see. Let's get Ezekiel. Let's get Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not return from his way, he shall die, like he shall be unalived in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul. So, nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his ways to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall be unalived in his iniquity. So, if you are told, all right, if you are told to turn from your wicked ways and you do not do it, yeah, the Most High is going to unalive you based on that iniquity, based on that sin. That's what's going to happen. Okay, that's what's going to happen to you. And also too, but thou hast delivered thy soul. And there's more. Verse 10. Therefore, O thou son of man, speak unto the house of Israel. Thus ye speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pine away in them, how should we then live? So now the question is being asked, if we do all these things that you told us to do, then how should we live? And it's really simple. Okay? Oh, no, I'm sorry. If our transgressions and our sins be upon us and we pine away in them, how should we then live? Right? You can't live because you're not separating yourself. You're not destroying that demon that you got on you. Okay? That's what it's talking about. All right? Y'all bear with me. Okay? Let me see. All right, let's keep it going. Verse 11. Say unto them, as I live, saith the Lord God, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn ye from your evil ways. For why will ye die, O house of Israel? Now, even the Lord said, he said this to Ezekiel, like, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked. Like, the Most High would rather not even unalive you, but at the same time, patience do run out. And you gave the Most High no patience. All right? You didn't give the Most High anything but wickedness. You ruined all the mercy that he had for you. And because of that, now you're unalive. All that patience ran out. All of it. Now you're dealing with, the consequences of your actions. And that's what's going to happen, man, on all these holidays, on your birthdays. Anytime that you are going against the Lord, he got something to say about it. And it may cost you your life. It may cost somebody that you love life. Okay? All right, let's see. Let me get 1 second, y'all. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 17. Now in this that I declare unto you, I praise you not, that ye come together, not for the better, but for the worse. Now, why is he saying to come together not for the better, but for the worse? It's only because he knows that it being worse is when we need to come together the most. Like the Bible says in Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, yea, O nation not desired. We have to gather together as a nation, as far as the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, because it's worse right now. It's so worse that the homelessness in New York City is out of control. All right? We have to come together right now because the LGBT community is out of control. The Jewish, they are just out of control. There's wars breaking out everywhere. I mentioned this the other day. It's not just Palestine and Israel. There's other places all over this earth. There's so much happening, and it's very bad. So it's time for us to come together in this time. Because, coming together for what? A Christmas dinner, a New Year's dinner, what is that going to do? Don't just come together for a good time where you want to hang out with somebody, but come at the bad times as well. And that's what we are doing in the ISUPK. We are coming together in the worst time possible right now. That's what's happening. Babies being unalived by stray bullets. It's being unalived, man, by a stray bullet, man. It's sad. What else is going on? Drug addiction, especially on the reservation. On the reservation, man, it became such a normal thing to do. Now, unaliving yourself has became a common thing as well. Like, all these things are happening for a reason. Okay? Because it's time for us to do our job as a people. It's time to stand up. Okay? All right, let me see. Okay, here we go. All right. Verse 18. For first of all, when ye come together in the church, I hear that there be divisions among you, and I partly believe it. Now the reason why he said what he said was because of verse 17, where it says, now in this that I declare unto you, I praise you not that ye come together, not for the better, but for the worse. Because it started to get worse. It's getting so worse to the point where divisions are coming up amongst brothers and sisters about what? Something that can be handled by General Hyman. You know what I mean? By these hard-hitting warriors and soldiers in the ISUPK. Like, come on, man. We have to do better. Otherwise, entertainers are going to be your God. They're going to be your leaders. They're going to a distraction. There we go. A distraction. That's it. And that's it, all right? So, let me see. I think that was it. Check one more thing. All right, let me see. One more thing, y'all. Y'all want to grab this precept last? All right. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation, not desired. Now, when you read the whole chapter, you're going to know that it's speaking about Israel, who are the 12 tribes, God's chosen. And with that being said, not everybody's going to like that, because God did have a chosen people, and it's the minorities. And the minorities, just to be exact, is once again those living in the ghettos, all right, living in the slums, the tent cities. Those are the people that have to come together because they are not desired. And the truth is, if we were so desired, why are we on the street? Why is there so much homelessness, so much death, so much drug addiction, drug use? Right. Okay. So, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation, not desired. That's what we must have to do in order to get out of this hell. We have to stick together and come together. If we don't do that as a people, we will never move. We will never change this situation at all. There will be more unalivings. There will be more Christmases being celebrated where you sit at the table with someone who has, assault to you. You know what I mean? You being next to those family members who always gossip and talks about you, don't give a damn about you. That's your life. That's your reality. And some may just happen, you know what I mean, on that day of that holiday, which it usually always does. Once again, the holidays bring out all the unaliving. Good night. All right. So with that being said, that's it. Imaju, which means to stand. All right. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. If a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry, Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, Mayashua. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, gives the treasury department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offered for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocation. So Purim is coming up very soon in February. I want to say February 24th through the 25th. Okay? So 2 days. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, Wapani Hakadam, which means to face the east. All right? You are going to repeat after me. Okay? The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanav, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayat, Shemka, Yahweh, Malach Wachta, Tawa'ah, Ratazak, Hayat, Aisha, Barakazak, Kawa, Hayat, Rashamayim, Nathanav, Yakam, Kol, Yawam, Wasalakmanawa, Kawatinawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawatnawa, Wala'ah, Taba'anawa, Wanisaiwan, Abol, Awashinawa, Mayan, Ra, Hayat, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'al, Wakapara, La Awalam, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. All right. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Vashem Yahushua, Barak Manawa, Vayasha'ala, Wahabaya, Sapari, Barak, Raka'ah, Magun, Pagan. Say the name of loved ones once, everyone repeats the name once. Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. ISUPK Minnesota. All of Israel. All right, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, the angels, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the students, the sisters, the children, all of Israel. All right? If anybody else online want to pray for somebody, put their name in the chat and we will repeat. All those dead in Israel, may they rise again. All right? The Daniel family, the Rollins family, Peterson family, Patterson family, the Willis family, the Wagner family, the Slaughter family, all right, the Davis family, Vashem Yahushua, the Waraman, in the English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Yasha'ala, in the school. Bless him, shall protect loved ones. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, that try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. That loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume you. Let the plague take the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down to flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angel that does. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always. So be it. Star, which means return in Hebrew. Right? Minute Israel, my Shabbat, Magic, Barak, Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Barakathon. Yazmatat, courtesy salute for the sisters. Minute Israel, my Shabbat, and Magic, Barak, Yahweh, Shemar, Alathah, Shem Yahushua. Yazmatat, class dismissed. Shalom, Israel.